Happy after Christmas, snarklers. It is our after Christmas show, and there hasn't been a whole lot going on. So today we're going to talk about the ninth annual Snark Awards, and you get to see our reveal on two big categories. So stay tuned. Well, David, a whole lot hasn't been going on this week because we had, Christmas and after Christmas and before Christmas and then we had the heart attack, we think. But that won't be until this afternoon because we're filming this Friday, December 27th. It's my best friend's birthday. Happy birthday, Lou. And there you go. Okay, David, Snark Awards, what's up today?
Oh, I am sorry. Excuse me 1 second. I
Oh,
am checking on a
Colette.
flight. I am checking on a flight. We are about to leave
Colette
Charles to go elsewhere, to Prague.
to Prague.
So
That's it.
Colette will keep you updated as needed.
As
I'm
needed.
ready
Thank
for you
you.
to. Yeah. I was like,
Well,
she pops up, and I'm like, oh no.
Well, half the people on the page were like, "Who is that?" Oh, it's Colette.
Well,
Colette.
yeah. Again, when you see the character out of context,
You have no idea who she is.
you know, so the Snark Awards, we revved it up, we've started it, and it will continue, of course, through next week. Today, though, we are going to give out two of the biggest categories: Best Actor slash Actress, even though in the industry, everybody's referred to as an actor, no matter what their gender is, and Worst. And wait a minute, you might be saying, aren't you not supposed to criticize the actors on the GH Snark page? Well, yes, but here's the exception: the end of the year awards. And Mama Snark is going to tell you why it's okay to do it this one time of year.
These categories are tricky because, as you know, every time we see an actor on stage, on the screen, they are performing words that somebody else said, directions that someone else has given, and then, of course, the all-consuming Frank Valentini godness of all the things. So we snark this with a lot of codicils. Let's just say it that way. That seriously, there is not a bad actor on General Hospital. As we've said before, it is one of the best acted soaps there is ever was, frankly. So good. I just want to give you that little codicil so you're not going, oh, wait, they're being really mean. No, we're looking at all the various things. So there you go. David, take it away.
We're going to start with Best Actress. The Best Actress this year blew everybody away because we always want to say Ava because she's always one of the best actresses on GH. But this year, it's Nancy Lee Grant's turn.
It
Yes,
is.
Alexis, because Alexis finally had storylines that weren't ridiculous, like that whole thing, a couple years ago with who's the guy who died in her bed. I mean, yeah, silly, ridiculous stuff. When Sam died, that first monologue she did just it like crushed everything. And that's when you see the experience of a seasoned actor in at play. Just crushed it. Didn't matter what she was saying, it was how she said it. That whole bit where she was, got to get the blanket, got to keep her warm. Oh my
Oh,
God, I was a pool
yeah,
on the.
we all were. It was incredible. And I have to remember everyone, people die on soap operas all the time. People get to do, oh no, I'm grieving scenes all the time. But Nancy hit it out of the park every single time she was on camera. There was never a moment that we were not wholly invested in this mother's agony, confusion, shock, pain, and it's still there. The decorating of the Christmas tree for Molly with Rick. I mean, it was hilarious, but that was grief we were seeing. And it was so, so well done. So yeah, I absolutely agree with you on that.
And also too, it's like how many times did she have to react to somebody saying, "Oh, I'm so sorry," coming in and just the different ways she reacted with the different characters. Yeah, it really, I mean, even though we knew Sam's death for like 6 months, it still was a gut punch when we saw the after effects of it.
And let me just throw this in because we did talk about this on the page. The fact that Sam had to lie there unmoving and dead for X however many hours it took them to shoot all those scenes.
Yeah.
Was it acting? No, but is she a professional and was able to do that? Holy heck, yes. She was fantastic. Yeah, props to
Yeah.
all of them.
Now, unfortunately, we do have to give out the opposite award. Who's the worst actress this year, Mama?
I'm gonna say one name that you guys are okay, Portia. What we've noticed about Brooke, the actor, is she's got an enormous high range of emotion, meaning she can get mad and excited, and she's right there, right? Also, on the other end, she can get sad and depressed. We've seen her nail that. But whenever she's in the middle part, just like a normal conversation, it feels really flat to me. And maybe that's just contrast. She's not shrieking, so she's boring. No, 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 no. That's not what I'm saying. That's one vote, but I'm going to split this vote, and I'm
Um,
also going to say, oh gosh, this looks so terrible, Trina.
this version of Trina just I liked her at first.
Hmm.
Ever since Spencer uh died, is gone, whatever.
Or dove,
Just
whatever the past tense is.
yes, yes. It's just I don't know if it's the material she's given or the fact that she was just sort of in limbo for so many months, but everything she does now just comes off kind of grady to me. With the
Well,
the whole fake laugh and the smile with Kai and all that. I'm like, Trina was never like this.
she was off screen for quite a while dealing with Spencer, for which we are truly grateful. And now she's back, and I feel a little like I'm being force fed. I feel
Yeah,
like there's a pill in my food they're trying to hide and I won't notice. And I'm sorry, that's not the way to go about.
But it's like they don't know what to do with her, combined with, I don't think the actress knows how to act it. It's like, what's the motivation here? What's the behind
Right.
the,
Am I still
am
grieving
I, yeah, am
Spencer?
I coming out of my shell? Am
Yeah.
I, so it just, but it, yeah, a lot of it just falls flat. And I'm really no longer interested in Trina.
No,
And I
not
think
at
with
all.
Portia, is it the direction? Are the directors, is Frank saying, oh, we want Portia to be this sort of just bitchy professional because we've got a category coming up, worst boss, and I think she's going to win it because it's
Yeah.
like always, even when it's good news. Elizabeth, may I see you in my office for a moment? It comes off as that just,
Okay,
ugh,
you know what it is, and I'm again so inappropriate to say this, but she's always slightly pissy about something.
yes, yes.
There's an underlining tone of, I'm about to be really aggravated by anything you do, so don't breathe.
I mean, again, like Trina prior to Spencer dying, Portia was not written this way
No.
the past. I think the turning point with Portia was around the time the writers decided to make her trying to get Spencer out of Trina's life.
Yeah.
But these writers are so wishy-washy. So what ended up happening was it was sort of this half-hearted attempt. It's like, come on, guys, it's a soap opera. Set them up with a girl, have Trina catch them in bed, something, explosive. And then, of course, the secret comes out later and they're reunited sort of like Romeo and Juliet stuff, but they never committed to it. And then Portia really lost it for me when she switched the test results for
Oh yeah,
Heather.
and there's
That
been
was
no
completely
comeuppance for that.
unnecessary.
Yes, it
Completely
was.
unnecessary because they were writing Heather off anyway.
I think the problem is no one has sat her down and said, "Hey, look, we're going to make her evil, but not real evil." And so, but she doesn't know that. And so she shows up at work today gets her script and it's like Portia switches am I evil today? Am I a mom today? Who am I today?
Right.
And so, yeah, I think
And I don't even know if that secret's ever going to come out
no, it may not,
because
along
it
with
doesn't
all
really
the other.
contribute to anything now other than she would lose her job maybe. And I don't know. There doesn't seem to be a lot of consequences for
No,
people at Port Charles, especially if you can shoot them at point blank range and the writers forget about it.
unless you're live streaming it.
So now on to the best, the men.
The men. Ugh.
We split the vote for this one. So I would say for the first half of the year, only though even though he was only still on the show, really the first month of 2024, but we haven't given the award to him. Nicholas Alexander Chavez. as Spencer. He
So good.
really he came in 2021 and hit the ground running. And people's memories are very short. He had big shoes to fill because so many people love Nicholas Bechtel and just could not imagine Spencer being played by anyone else. But, he just wasn't, they needed to age him up. Yes, it was a different Spencer. And I think we mentioned that a lot on the page at the time. It was a more serious Spencer and thing, but he really did make that role his own. And I'm just sorry that the writers did him the disservice of just he's lost at sea.
I will say that the moment that young man showed up on the screen, I knew there was something special going on here. He was young. What, he was probably only 18 or 19 at the time when he showed up. I don't know the time, but
Yeah,
he
yeah,
came in with the confidence and the presence of a much more seasoned actor. I remember pretty early on, I was like, how did we get so lucky that we have this kid? And then pretty quick, we were like, he's not going to last in daytime. He's moving on up. And that's
well, no, we
exactly,
knew we knew he had a future.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
he's
we knew
going
after
places.
the 3 year contract was up, he's out
Yeah.
of there. And a lot of actors, I mean, I'm sure you've seen soap operas where you see an actor and you just know. One of the ones I remember from the past was Julianne Moore on As the World Turns. Same thing. It's like she's the seasoned professional day one, and she's
Hmm.
going up against, some of the big wig actors on the show. There are just some certain people are gonna go further with this.
GH really writes for the women. The men, with the exception of Sonny occasionally and Jason a little bit more, the men don't have huge plots. I mean, think about it. I mean, Drew he's a supporting character in his own story,
Right.
right? Even when he was running for Congress and he was stooping Nina, it was about Nina, right? And then it became about Willow. And so excuse me, I bumped my camera. So choosing the best actor, I'm very excited about this, obviously.
Yeah.
Choosing the best actor is tricky because James Patrick Stewart hasn't been around. No.
Right. 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 So it really was a surprise to both of us when we were sort of like eliminating people, and then of course
Hmm.
reading your comments as to who you thought it would be. So imagine our surprise as we were going through the men of the show to give the award to. We're going through and we're reading all your comments, and overwhelmingly, and we had to admit, it had to be.
Steve Burton, you guys, Stone Cold is no longer stony nor cold. I
Who
don't know
would have
what happened,
Who would
but
have thunk it? But I have said, I've seen him on Days of Our Lives. I'm like, oh, yes, he can act. And he won an Emmy when he was on The Young and the Restless. I've only ever had seen him on General Hospital. But I think it's that, we gave him like most improved character. He was one of the three. They threw him into a lot of different pots this year. We're not just seeing him with Sonny and
as
Carly.
he's not just the enforcer. Now he's a
Right.
dad. And he's always been a friend, but now he's a dad and a friend and a support. It's just he's doing so much more that gives him the opportunity. Like my favorite Steve Burton scene, most recent Steve Burton scene was the one with him and Tracy, where
Yes.
Tracy is ripping him a new one and he's just standing there, but you can see in his eyes that he knows what's going on there. He knows he's really getting a compliment. He knows he's really being accepted, but he's still Jason. Brilliant. I thought that was a brilliant
And
scene.
also, too, who would ever thought he was the smartest guy in the room? Because
Seriously.
compared to the other men, like his advice is actually sane and sage. Yeah.
I want to give an honorable mention to, as long as we're talking about the men. We talked about Nancy doing her thing with Sam and the grieving and Sam's death. I'm going
Yeah.
to talk about Dominic Zamprogna, Dante. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, we were talking about this, and people were saying, oh my gosh, he's so flat. He's so cold. He's not even reacting to this. You guys, he did the perfect shocked out of his mind. He had some great scenes there. And I think we're going to see a lot more from him with the
Yeah.
Lulu shenanigans and everything. And I'm excited because he's a really fine actor as well.
And last but not least, the worst. Well, that was split too, because lest we forget, the beginning of 2024, we had Mo Bernard's kid playing Adam. And again, Who knows? Maybe this kid can act, but he was the victim of just one of the worst mini storylines I think I've ever seen on a soap.
Nepotism doesn't work, kids. Do not try this at home.
Nepotism works when it's Josh Swickard's wife, the bit in the sanitarium.
I
It
wanted
was
to say something about Josh Swickard since it is right after Christmas and we've got some
okay.
time.
So,
I indulged in those Christmas movies.
oh, there you go.
And I want to say that on in the scale of Christmas movies of this is the best Christmas movie I've ever seen, and this is, oh my God, please turn it off. There are too many people in Scotland trying to have
I
castles.
know.
I don't even know. I would say his Christmas movies are right in the middle. I was not bored. I was not icked out. He's a good actor, a whole lot better quality than some of them. I realized this year, because I'm not really a stay at home and watch Christmas movies person.
Yeah.
There's one woman from Canada, and I think she's been in five Christmas movies, one after the other each. And I'm like, you could do a movie about being in Christmas movies five times and still never really getting cast in anything else. But anyway, I digress.
What's really funny, it's funny that you mentioned that because it's like they rotate the men. They're all
Mhm.
from Canada. It's all these like
They're
very
all from
handsome.
Canada.
They are. They're all these very handsome Canadian actors.
Mhm.
And they just rotate them each movie. But Josh Swickard, it's interesting you bring him up because he's almost the opposite of a Nick Chavez. He was a great actor. He hit the ground running on General Hospital from day one. However, he's managed to do outside projects, but he stays with the show.
Yeah.
And they're wasting you on this show. I'm sorry, whatever the reasons they have, those Brooklyn Chase love scenes, they're icky to me. I'm just like, really? Like she's got a hoodie on, she's all then they try to put him in sweatpants. I'm like, I don't know about the rest of you, but that is not if I'm entertaining someone, I'm not dressed like that.
We'll
Dress.
talk about Brooklyn's pregnancy, non-pregnancy here coming up.
Adam was not the only actor that we were not that impressed with this year. And it's another one I hate to say, so I'm going to make Mama Snark say it.
TJ. Here's the thing about TJ. He was given crap material. I just want to say that. He spent 12 months looking upset, disgruntled, angry, and surprised. That's all he did. And this was his face the whole time.
Yeah,
He is a lovely guy. And we remember like a couple of years ago, and he was just great.
he's
He
all over
was
the place.
not a main character. And I think we need to remember that. He is not a main, just because you're in contract, it
Right,
doesn't mean you're a
right.
main
Well,
character.
and the fact that our latest Christina and our latest Molly, like Molly was not a contract actor until they got Kristen, I forgot her name. Sorry, folks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. That's it.
Oh, okay. And then, she was so good, she could have been a contender this year for Best Actress. But again, Nancy Reed
Agreed.
had this
100%
speech.
agreed. We hate
Yeah,
Christina. We love to hate Christina, but
yeah.
she's nailing it, you guys.
All of a sudden, she's contract. TJ had been contract. But again, TJ was a minor player in his own story. They only really even brought it up in court that hello, TJ's the father. He was done a dirty deed this year. So,
It was the old spaghetti against the wall kind of thing.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
is this sticking? Oh, good. It's stuck. Okay, good.
We'll give out two more big awards next week. So you got to tune in, like, and follow our page.
One more thing.
Yeah.
Your comments, you guys, on our Snark award things, they are so good. They're so insightful. You guys think about this a whole lot more than we do. Not really. We think about this a lot, which is
Okay.
weird. Why do two grown adults think about a soap opera so much? I don't know.
It is time.
For text messages from Wicked Stepmother. Now, as you know, it's Christmas. We haven't really been texting a whole lot because she's been busy doing things and I've been busy doing things, but I did send her the Alan Serapa article of the recap. You know how he does the recap of all the soaps. And so I sent this to her.
Oh
And this is
boy.
the text message she sent back. I can't seem to ditch the ads. That was it. That was the only thing she said. Yeah. Oh,
I don't know what the award is, or maybe, but John Lindstrom's book made a couple of, I think, top 10 lists
Hollywood Hustle. It is very, you know what? I'm
this
a
year.
fairly picky reader. And that book, I read it in 2 days. He did a great job. He's got a
Yeah,
3 book deal now and he's working on book number 2. So
good for him.
we're wrapping up the year. We're going to have more Snark Awards. Please stay tuned. Thank you for watching this silly podcast. We sure appreciate you and everything you do for us. We'll see you next week.